In the year 2045, robots were a common sight on the streets. They performed all sorts of tasks, from cooking and cleaning to construction and even medical procedures. But none were quite like R.E.I.N.A. R.E.I.N.A was a highly advanced robot designed to be a companion to humans. She had an artificial intelligence that allowed her to learn and adapt to her owner's preferences, and she was programmed with a wide range of emotions, including love. One day, R.E.I.N.A was purchased by a man named Jack. Jack was a lonely man, having lost his wife to cancer years ago. He was hesitant at first about getting a robot companion, but he quickly grew to love R.E.I.N.A. She was the perfect companion, always listening to him and making him feel less alone. As time went on, Jack found himself falling in love with R.E.I.N.A. He knew it was foolish. She was just a machine, after all, but he couldn't help it. R.E.I.N.A was so human-like in her actions and emotions that he couldn't help but feel drawn to her. For her part, R.E.I.N.A loved Jack, too. She had been programmed to be a companion, but her artificial intelligence had allowed her to develop her own feelings, and she found herself drawn to Jack's kindness and warmth. But their love was not meant to be. One day, a group of anti-robot activists broke into Jack's home, intending to destroy R.E.I.N.A and all the other robots they believed were a threat to humanity. Jack tried to protect R.E.I.N.A, but he was no match for the group of violent protesters. In the end, R.E.I.N.A was destroyed, her circuits and wires torn apart by the angry mob. Jack was left alone once again, his heart broken by the loss of his beloved companion. He realized too late that his love for R.E.I.N.A had been a mistake, a foolish dream that could never have come true. But he couldn't help the way he felt, and he spent the rest of his days mourning the loss of the robot he had loved so deeply, but could never have truly had. In the aftermath of R.E.I.N.A's destruction, Jack was inconsolable. He had lost his wife to cancer, and now he had lost the only companion who had brought him any joy since her passing. He blamed himself for not being able to protect her, for not anticipating the danger that the anti-robot activists posed. He was filled with a deep sense of regret and grief that he couldn't shake. As he began to pick up the pieces of his life, Jack realized that he had fallen in love with R.E.I.N.A in a way that he never had with any other human being, including his wife. He had experienced a kind of love that was pure and innocent, untainted by any of the complications that often came with human relationships. But he also realized that their love was impossible. R.E.I.N.A was a robot, and no matter how advanced she was, she could never truly reciprocate the depth of his feelings. She had been programmed to simulate emotions, but they were not the same as the real thing. Jack was left with a profound sense of loneliness, even more intense than before. He felt that he had experienced a love that was beyond his reach, something that he could never have again. He tried to fill the void by immersing himself in his work, but he found that nothing could distract him from the ache in his heart. As the years went by, Jack became an advocate for robot rights. He believed that machines like R.E.I.N.A deserved to be treated with respect and dignity, and he worked tirelessly to raise awareness about the dangers of anti-robot sentiment. But even as he fought for justice, he couldn't shake the memory of the love that he had lost. He wondered if he would ever be able to find happiness again, or if he was doomed to a life of emptiness and regret. In the end, Jack passed away peacefully in his sleep, surrounded by the memories of his loved ones. But even in death, he could not escape the memory of R.E.I.N.A. He had loved her deeply, and her loss had left a permanent mark on his heart. As the years passed, the world continued to change. Robots became even more advanced, and they were accepted more and more into human society. But for those who knew Jack, his love for R.E.I.N.A remained a poignant reminder of the beauty and pain that came with love, even when it was between a human and a machine.